Welcome to Marcor Studios, where here we will be interviewing different industry professionals and educating our homeowners as well as the industry as a whole. We hope you enjoy the show. Welcome to Marcor Studios. We are here today with Reenie and Paul from Team Musso. So thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thanks for inviting us.
So gotta get you guys to have my house because you guys sold me my house, 8-9 years ago?
Yep.
I was waddling around pregnant with Gabriella.
That's right.
I remember my water
waddling.
When I was ripping down the backsplash, Anthony told me, he's like, "You're not touching the backsplash." I go, "Oh, okay. No, I'm not. You're right." He left. Boom. I got up on the counter, literally 8.5 months pregnant, and I'm like, I got the bag of the hammer, I'm ripping it. It was like this gold laminate subway tile, almost like a copper color. And I was like, yeah, that's not gonna last. And I figured if it was down, you couldn't do anything about it. Right. I mean, you guys know me and Anthony. That's kind of how we roll together. So he's like, oh,
Which is why it works.
I guess we're doing backsplash. But yeah, so we ended up, I remember walking into that house that day, and we weren't even looking for a house. We had a house. We redid the whole house. And, I kind of wanted to play with that. I wanted to build my first house with my dad, basically. And we did. And then we went to go for the second. We were going to buy a lot. And we were, you guys were trying to help us find a lot and build a house. And then Anthony didn't want to go so far east. So we got, he found this house, and it was on a huge piece of property in West Islip. And it wasn't the ideal house we wanted. And I remember it was me, my husband, and my father-in-law walked in with both of you. And the two of them looked around. They're like, yeah, we're going to buy this house. And I was like, anyone want my input? I have to live here. And so my father looks, he goes, well, yeah, what do you think? And I was like, yeah, I think I could put a dormer. I could move it around, reconfigure. No. Pump the brakes here, girl. I was like, this is what I do. I gotta make it mine. I gotta put my touch on it. So yeah, we got to get you there. We ended up there was that wall. We leveled out the wall. We put the triple microlam in. We actually we jumped the box, so we ended up gaining a little bit more. We had the ability to gain some more height. We put a room in for my father-in-law, knowing when he lived in the Bronx that we were like, all right, we want him to be able to kind of stay with us. And then, we didn't anticipate that he was going to get sick and move in with us a lot quicker. So that was, but it was great because we ended up doing the upstairs, and then we had him, and he's in our house every day. We talk about him every single day. The girls talk about him. And so the first thing that we did is, after he passed, we were like, we have to do the backyard. That was his spot. Anthony and him could have fought at the store during the day, and on a Saturday, they could have been fighting all morning, and I came home from work, and my father-in-law was in my pool. And
it was beautiful.
It was so cool. So or the kids they'd go out and they'd bring him his coffee, and, they'd be watching the Yankee game in the backyard. That was our spot with him. So I said to Anthony, I'm like, we got to do the backyard, because he would have been so proud, and it would have been everything he would have wanted to be a part of, and he would have been there every weekend with us. So, I'm tearing up about it, but
no,
it was just knowing that you guys were there from the day we bought it.
Yeah.
And I remember laughing because we went out to dinner, and you and Anthony were going back and forth on the phone, and you're like, let me handle this one. We're going to offer X. And Anthony's like, we're going to insult them. And they're like, no, we're going to start here. And they bit on that number because they needed to get out. They needed to go. And you knew, you were just you knew exactly how to handle the sale. And you knew where we were willing to go, but you got us you got us in an amazing house at an amazing price. And I will forever be grateful for you guys, because
it was a win.
Yeah.
Win-win.
We never knew the friends we'd make in the town, the school district we'd be in. We are on cloud nine where we are. We love, it was actually cool. Last night we were playing, we always do the cards where you pick 2 cards for dinner, pick 2 cards for dessert, and 2 cards for whatever activity. And it's how we kind of, instead of everyone arguing, I want this.
Good idea.
So I write 2 restaurants down, and then somebody picks where we go to dinner, and it's non-negotiable. Whatever the card says, that's where we go.
That's really cool.
So one picks dinner, one picks dessert, and then usually Anthony has to pick whatever the activity was. So it's either last night was either a game or a family movie. So we get the game, and they pick. It was a game about like kind of like asking each other questions, and one of the questions was, "What do you like most about where you live and why?" And it was just the coolest thing. And then now I'm not here today. We are together, and
Very
like
cool.
you're
funny.
part of the reason why we have the life that we do. And you don't realize like who's selling you your house is that you remember that forever, and what a part of your life that becomes. Like,
Right.
it's such an important part of your life. It's such an important decision, and you just have to have that comfort level. You know, it's not like, hey, I'm buying a house and I have to use my friend or my sister because that's what she does. You know, no, this is business. You have to do where you're comfortable, and you know the person's going to make the right deal for you. So thank you guys.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It was a process.
It was. But it's such a
It
great,
was actually
such a great area.
because we got lucky that we didn't have to sell the house that we had.
I don't think
And you had a gorgeous house.
Right.
Well, and then it was cool because then I was able to, when we
Move
bought
quicker.
that house, I had equity in the other one
Right.
because I bought that as a short sale.
Right.
And then
right,
when we
right.
bought that one, I ended up redoing that one. I mean,
How
we do it for
because we had the
a
two new constructions next door
to
to the original
yes,
house.
oh my God, I remember that one.
How
Yes,
crazy
I
is
remember
that?
you did. And our friends moved in there. And then we ended up keeping that house, which is why we were able to get the price that you got, because they couldn't have somebody that was contingent on selling their house. So it was very
Trust through the process is probably most
So important.
Yeah, when you and it's hard when you go into that process, but that's the biggest thing is trust.
Yeah.
Trust.
It's a gamble.
Yeah, and you got to be able to see. That's one thing I think you guys really did for us is you entrusted on us.
100%.
You know, we spent your money like it was ours, and we protected you like you were our family.
Definitely did.
So it's we appreciate that.
I still it's funny when you like look it up on Zillow and like people are like, wait, what did you buy your house for?
Right.
I look at what people are buying houses for up the block.
Right.
It's
Mind-boggling.
Fixer-uppers.
And
40% higher than what I paid for my house. Like I know I put money into my house.
Yeah. But
But-
now you know what your house is worth.
But I know what I'm getting out of it too. Like, you know, and Anthony's always been like, well, we can't spend more than what we're going to be able to get out. I'm like, no, we're here for the long term. It's so let's get into that conversation from like a real estate perspective.
Yeah.
That's a common misconception I think people think. Like, all right, so like, hey, I bought my house. Like, let's just talk real number, right? Fictitious numbers. You buy a house for $500,000. You put 200 into it. People say, oh, I'm not putting 200 into it unless I'm going to get 700 for the house.
Right. People say that all the time.
But if you're staying there,
Right. People have this, well, I guess misconception. If you think about it, when our parents bought their homes years ago, they bought a home
$20,000.
for $20,000.
Your father paid more for his roof than he did for
Right. And by the way, you guys did the roof. You guys did a great job.
And we talked about the fact that
That's
even
so
at a discount,
funny.
he paid for less. He paid more for the roof than he did for his house.
So you know, our parents bought homes, and they lived in there for 20, 30 years without the home mindset, because that's where they're going to raise their family. Today, it is true. Most people buy a home and they don't think about it. They think about it because what's happened over the past couple of years, or 10 years, 15 years, people have doubled the values of their home. So most people come into a process thinking that that's the way it's supposed to be, and it's not. You know, you buy a home to have a family live in. You raise your kids, you raise your family, and make it yours, and you go through that process. But we do go through that a lot, where some people don't want to do the work.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a magnitude of time, listen, the market has been crazy, and
you do get it back.
yeah, you do get it back.
You do get it back.
And I hope that the people hearing this, you do get it back, whether it's, you know, you get it back for the purpose of knowing that you have a sound roof, you know, you have windows that don't leak, you know that you are in a position that that the work that gets done is helping your R rating in the home. So there are things, you get some tax breaks on certain situations, applications. So there is some value to that. But it
There's
is
always that anomaly in the neighborhood where you say, I can't believe they got that number. They got the number from the house.
right.
But it happens.
Right.
Look at Holbrook. You know, there's just certain areas where you say, years ago,
How'd you get that?
How'd you get that
$1
money?
million in Holbrook?
Yeah.
At the time, one of our developer we worked for that got $1 million for his home in Holbrook at the time, and those numbers were unheard of, and he got that because
the house was the house.
The house, yeah. So for people out there to listen to us, buy a home, get the work done by this young lady, and enjoy the process, enjoy the time,
Make it yours.
and make it yours, and live in there
The way you want to live.
right, and not always worried about.
That's what it's for.
It's like, again, I'm biased because I do it.
You do it.
So it's not like it's my guys doing it. It's us buying the materials directly. So there's really like, you're not dealing with, the same markups and involvement of what the end user's really paying. But at the end of the day, even those homeowners where you're like, listen, a 2,000 square foot roof does not have to cost $20,000. Okay. To me, that's ridiculous. The costs out there are not near that. There's companies out there that just pressure sell, and they sell at such significant numbers.
Yes.
Unfortunately, hurting the industry so bad because people think that that's really what it is. But then you got the opposite, where people are coming in without the right insurances or without quality products, or without a system or anything, or not meeting code, where they're coming at a significantly lower number.
Yeah.
And then you got us that's in the middle, doing it the right way with all the right stuff with a fair margin, and it's just like, it's very hard. I tell my homeowners all the time when I sit with them, I'm like, I don't envy the seat you're sitting in any way, shape, or form, because you're coming in with numbers here, numbers here, numbers here.
And who do you trust?
What are you doing?
And they don't
know what decision to make. Where do you know? And unfortunately, the average homeowner is always going to look at that low number and say, all right, well, you know what? Am I going to pay $8,000 or I'm going to pay $20,000? If the $8,000 thing doesn't work, I'll do it again and I'll just pay $16,000, or I'll pay $20,000 then, and I'll roll the dice to have to do it twice. So different people have different mentalities, and I think the predatory lending and the predatory sales tactics are two very big things. I know we've talked about with solar, but it happens in construction too. And the problem is with, like, for example, roofing and siding. You got companies, because we do the direct sales, but we also are a sub. Well, what do you think the general contractors want? Is they want it done for as cheap as possible, so they squeeze us.
Yeah.
They can only squeeze us so far because we have legitimate labor and a legitimate insurance, and we're doing the right system.
Right.
What happens when you go to the guy that doesn't have legitimate stuff, doesn't care that they don't have the legitimate stuff? He's willing to get squeezed because he wants to work. Right. So they're charging the highest number. They're dropping, they're paying big dealer fees to the bank, and then they're paying the least possible that they can for the roof or for the, for the materials, and then for the labor. So you're not getting that quality that they're promising you, that, hey, you're paying this number, but you're getting quality. You're not. You're paying for the marketing company that generated the lead. You're paying for the financing that they're funding you with. We don't deal with those types of situations. And it's unfortunate because you can't get a homeowner to really understand, like, you just paid what for a window? Because a guy knocked on your door? Like, I still can't fathom it. And it's frustrating, but it's part of the business. So the question I have for you guys is, when listing a house, what are you going to get? What kind of things are good investments for a good return on investment before listing a house? Is a roof a good return on investment? Is siding? Is windows? Yes, a lot of people like to buy a house and make it theirs, but a lot of people don't want to do the work. They want to move in and they just want to paint the colors they want and just live there.
Most people want that. They just want to walk. They want to come in with their suitcase.
Especially today.
Yeah.
Especially
today.
I don't mean
My day, if buying a house. But now,
the kids today want
that's what they want.
They want it done.
Oh yeah, my generation.
They don't want to do any work.
They don't want to.
No, nothing.
And they're willing to pay for that too.
Yes, they will pay for
Yes.
it.
They're willing to pay a higher number
pay
than
for
I
it.
have to.
Yep.
Yes.
They'd rather pay for it.
If I wasn't in the business, married to the man that I am, who I absolutely adore, I would never want to go through another construction project with him. I would say the last. Stress. It's funny, living in construction, he was terrible to do. Backyard construction, I was like, keep me away from this project because I can't look at the yard ripped up. I can't deal with the contractor. I'm done. I want nothing to do with this project. Just get it over with.
Anthony's doing it?
I let him run this one because I had it to hear already, because you know how I am. If I'm in control and it's my guy, I didn't have control over this one. I hired somebody to do it. So I had a second story done, finished, and living in it in half the time my backyard took to get done.
Oh my gosh.
I ordered cabinets in February. My house will not be done by 4th of July. So my kitchen was done in a shorter period.
But it's still a beautiful home.
It'll all be worth it. And
Once it's
I'm
done,
very grateful for it.
your outdoor living space.
Hearing my kids saying last night when we were playing that game, like, that, they love that we have a beautiful home and that they have a beautiful backyard. And I was like, wow, like, I love that you guys actually, like, at your ages already realize, like,
They appreciate
how hard
it.
we work to do that. Like, and that doesn't
good that
just
they
And they realize it, and they're young, they're small.
they're trying, but they
They're
again,
smart.
we are working hard on financial literacy in this house because it's one thing that is
That they
seriously
understand
lacking in this these upcoming generations. It's
Amazing.
It's just the level of entitlement of a lot of these kids is, I thought my generation was bad. It's getting
Is way worse.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what would you say are good projects?
I mean, you can start with the simplest.
Each house is a little different.
But something is just really the first thought that comes to mind. We always talk about it. Even just the front door.
Yeah.
The first, you think about it sometimes. You go
Presence.
the first, it's the first thing somebody looks at when they go to a home, right? So, not that it's a expensive, lift to do, but some doors might be. But
Right.
having that front door, whether it's painted, if there's cracked side glass or
Right.
Yeah.
you got some rot on the door,
Yeah.
replace that.
Get
And,
that curb appeal kind of
yeah. So when you first walk in,
Curb appeal is huge.
right.
What about a roof? Like, would you say, so roofs are something that we get a lot of calls from realtors and home inspectors that'll say, hey, listen, we're looking at this house and the roof's in bad shape.
Yeah. Or it's leaking.
Or it's leaking. And we need some estimates. The homeowner doesn't want to do it. And I'm like, why? Tell the homeowner to do the roof because they're going to spend less than what they're going to take at a seller's
Completely.
To the buyer, the roof is
Completely.
double whatever the seller even thinks it is.
Correct. So if let's say I could get a roof done for, 15,000, let's call it, and again, an average house, right?
The buyer thinks it's
The
30.
buyer's going to try and negotiate and then
30.
Yep.
they're going to say it's
35.
and they call me and they'll tell me, hey, listen, we're selling the house, go on the high end. Whereas if you were buying the house, you want it on,
Right.
Or no, we're buying the house on the high end.
Right.
If you're selling it, I'll give you on the low end. So now we're getting, the buyer's getting pricing, the seller's getting pricing, and like, my pricing is my pricing. So like, you're not going to get high and low end. This is just what the number is. But just the fact that it's like the same misconception people have with insurance. It's like, all right, well, give me a high estimate because the insurance company. No, that's not how insurance companies work, guys. Like this is This is 2025. We're working in a very different. There's
information is out there.
technology.
So it's right.
They can literally get down to the penny of what of what that material is going to cost.
AI will even give you an idea.
Yeah,
But
terrible.
But the roof is definitely something that we've and
Roof
a
is
lot
a
of
big
times
ticket item.
it's a big
is
it's
how they
a
look
big
at it.
it's a big ticket item, but dollar for dollar, if the seller has the means to definitely do it, we would always push it because it's something that a buyer would look at, like you said, and try and double or triple that expense.
we should do a sellers program where if somebody needs a roof,
That's a great idea.
that we promo out like a discount. If you're selling your house,
That's a great idea.
Gina, that's a great idea.
That was get your roof done so you get the value out in the end.
Our favorite seller, I would say, is when we get the call and we say, hey, we think we're going to sell the house next year. That is one of the best calls.
And we plan
And you prep it.
and we prep it and we prep it and we prep it.
We go through it and they say, what are we going to do? And those are the
best.
great homes.
We get those calls like that. Yeah.
But you know what? Those are also people that usually maintain their homes. They're always maintained and they say, okay, it needs a roof. We're going to do the roof now.
Yep. But that's the thing is people don't realize they think that it's just easier to not do it. And like the amount of money you just lost by not doing your roof before you sold it.
Because people right, especially.
And it's a one-day project in most cases. So it's
I know.
It's not like we're sitting here telling you to do
It's
a kitchen.
not going to, right.
Which that is going to have personal preference to it. Like go with a more generic color. Anytime somebody's buying or is selling a house and they're like, hey, we're going to sell in the next 5 years. What color do you think we should do?
Yeah.
I always tell them, listen, stick to like a black or a gray.
Black's my favorite.
Something that anything
black.
will really match.
Yeah.
Like, maybe they want to eventually redo the siding and it's not in bad shape, but the life of the roof is going to be approximately 50 years.
Yeah.
Let's say they even get 30, 40 out of it. Make sure it's a color that they're going to be able to match them.
Yes.
So they're not limited. Because all of a sudden you go with a blue roof or a green roof and you're like, well, I don't want the house with the green roof.
Yeah. Well, that does happen.
Yes.
People will look and go, I hate the color of that roof.
And
When you keep it a neutral color.
Yeah.
yeah. What about siding? Do you feel that people will get the return on investment in siding?
But I think it cleans up. It definitely
Does clean up the
it
house.
cleans up the house tremendously when they get that house sided. Especially when it had like the old asbestos shingles on it.
yeah.
When the asbestos shingles have been painted
8,000 times.
8,000 times, and you can see different colors of the
Aluminum, the
right,
old
old
aluminum
aluminum.
siding
Right.
Or that
shape,
The metal.
or the old nail
The metal.
light like that you could stick your fingers through.
Right.
Yeah.
Basically describing my first house when I had nail light on top of asbestos, and I remember you can't touch the asbestos unless you're the homeowner, and I was like, well, guess what? I'm the homeowner.
Yeah,
And I'm gonna rip this asbestos down myself. Until you realize how hard that actually is to do.
Yeah.
It's
But the siding, I think, is as long as as long as it gets done right, because our companies out there that we see
You
that
gotta stick to the neutral
and
colors.
stick to the neutral colors. So siding, I think, is a huge benefit.
It is.
And also, even we talked about insulation underneath that siding, which helps.
yeah.
Which helps the helps the home.
But do people, when you go to list a house, will somebody get the return on investment? Because siding's not a low ticket item.
No.
Do you feel that a homeowner, when the appraisal comes through, that they will get that value back?
Depends on the rest
No,
of the
you're going to
house.
definitely get
Right.
value
yeah.
back.
Right. I agree with Reenie when she said, it definitely depends on how the rest of the house sits.
Yes.
But dollar for dollar, if somebody's
The house
spending
is beautiful, and they got that. They say, it happens a lot. We never did the siding. It was on our plan, but we decided to go.
Yeah.
Should we do it now? That has come up.
Yeah.
Right. So I think dollar for dollar, if someone's going to put money into this in siding, I'd say dollar for dollar to get that back. So it's one of those items, it's one of those ticket items that when somebody comes into the home and they see it, what they see? They see that roof, they see that front door, they see the siding. So I think it's, and that's something where I think most kids today, young people coming into buying today, I think they'd I don't know if it's wrong being to say, but kitchen and bathroom, though they're important, but I think that the siding, the outside of that home, as long as it's wrapped tight, I think it's most important than everything else on the
I
inside.
feel like the bathrooms and the kitchen come more with a personal preference.
Great point.
does.
So
Yes,
it's like,
completely
you
agree with you.
can go, does somebody want to tile up the walls? Do they not want to tile up the walls? Do they want raised, the paneling? Do they want, is easy to fix fixtures, but do they want a bathtub? Do they want a shower?
Exactly.
That has a lot more
personal touch,
preference.
yeah.
Totally.
That
Whereas
type of backsplash that I like.
Right.
Right.
exactly, which fortunately was the first thing on my list. But ultimately, you've got certain things that you're like, all right, I'm kind of stuck with this, and I can work with this.
Right.
Whereas the outside of your house, there's like, you can't just paint vinyl siding.
No.
At least you shouldn't be.
Right.
But we also get questions about like, going vinyl versus fiber cement. Is it worth spending that extra money?
Right.
Or is it worth going and putting the PVC trim up versus aluminum trim? You're talking a drastic difference in numbers. So those are things that, matter. But I think that the roof is the biggest thing that we're seeing.
Yeah.
People are asking questions, and who's better off spending the money when a roof is needing to do it, the buyer or the seller? And I would
It's
say
seller hands down.
Yeah.
Hands down, dollar for
Definitely
dollar.
the seller.
so.
Dollar for dollar.
As far as what about little mini detailed items, gutters, and
No, we always try to make sure.
How many times it's really a gutter problem?
Right.
So
We
the
got a
roof is
water
leaking, the
problem.
windows leaking.
Yeah, we got a water
and the
problem.
gutters are packed.
Right. The gutters are
There's
packed.
trees growing out of the gutters.
Right. Literally, there's literally trees growing. Right. Or the water runoff from the gutters that go to the leaders. The leaders,
Yes.
the downspouts are not properly set.
And it's going into
and
the
it's
basement.
going into the basement, and
Yeah.
people are like, well, the
We've
water's
had
coming,
that.
the water's coming from the foundation up.
Right.
we can figure out a program together also on that, where we can be able to
There's so much of that.
figure out,
A process in it.
how to get when people need just troubleshooting of leak troubleshooting or
Yes.
prepping for a house, like a job prep. We can
Yes.
we can almost
Yes.
those types of things in the
Definitely.
service department.
No, it's a great feature.
Well, we just rolled out solar roof check as well. So and actually I'll show you the report later.
We
Solar
talked
roof
about
check
that. It's a good idea.
So it's 20-point roof inspection plus your solar inspection. Everything from what is your monthly payment, who's servicing the loan, what is left on the loan,
Very cool.
what is the interest rate, is it a
That's
purchase
great.
release or a finance?
That's a great program.
Transferring those, is there going to be a seller's concession at the end that they're going to pay off the loan, or are they going to, transfer that? Are they going to
That's
buy
a
out the lease at the end?
great.
It's all the information you guys need. It's
Yes.
what we
We
do
do
need.
need
Installing you guys.
Yes.
So
That is great information.
Marcor Solar has just rolled out that.
And there
division as
should be
well.
inspections. If I were buying a house and it had solar on it, I would
Right.
be hesitant.
So
You know,
it's so funny you say that. So yesterday, our head of our solar operations, coincidentally, her next door neighbor, we got the service for, and I was like, "Do you know them?" And she said, "No, they just moved into the neighborhood, and it came through one of our service providers, because we service for other national companies." And so I said, "Why don't you stay home, do an OSHA inspection on the guys, make sure they're showing up on time, do the whole check. Why don't you talk to that customer? Go see. I want to know the story on that." And so she did. And the story was they just bought the house. And a week after they bought the house, it rained in their living room because of their solar. Except when I got my guys up on the roof to look at it, it was something very, very, very obvious we would have found if we did a pre-inspection, except the home inspector missed it. But the home inspector had no responsibility in it because they signed a waiver that they were not inspecting the solar.
no, they don't inspect solar.
Right.
So it becomes an issue. You're not inspecting the solar.
Right.
We would have seen it in 30 seconds. It would have shown up on that report. I mean, we can't guarantee anything because we can't see everything under the solar.
But this situation,
To have an
probably-
idea.
But we would have seen that.
And especially because
we
you
would
do
have
the
known there was gas
installs.
damage. If you see some of the pictures that we pull when we pull a system, how much critter damage is underneath these roofs. I hate to say it, but my solar division, the maintenance side, because we do, and again, solar companies don't really have the ability to do what we do because they don't have the roofing infrastructure.
Right.
And they don't have the in-house labor. You can't sub this stuff. There's just not enough money in it. But if you can do it in volume and have the infrastructure we do, you pull these systems. The roof is gone underneath a lot of these. I mean, just shingles all over the place because the raccoons and the squirrels, it's mainly the raccoons that they're pulling, and they're trying to get into those roofs underneath there. It's nice and toasty. They're making a house. They're getting into the actual attic, making a home in the insulation, and they're having the babies there.
Oh,
And it is a nightmare. So when I tell you the maintenance side of things and the amount of systems going up without credit guards on it, but the fact that we could have seen this before.
like I wouldn't even know you need a credit card. And I don't think your
people don't.
average person getting solar would even have an idea.
Most people, when they go solar, they're thinking, I need just, all they care about is how much is my monthly.
Yes.
They don't.
Yes,
not
that's
looking at
all. That's all. That's.
It's not like you're seeing a car and you're like, all right, I'm going to get a Mercedes, a Ford, or a Honda,
Right.
and what the price differences are going to be. You're just saying, okay, I'm going to get a car that has an engine and four wheels, and it's going to get me from point A to point B.
Yep.
They're not doing that understanding, and all of a sudden saying, okay, well, I'm going to need a trailer hitch on it, and it's going to cost me X amount more because I need to tow a boat, or I need to tow a jet ski or whatever. And now it's going to cost you more money to add that trailer hitch, right?
Yep.
It's the same thing with solar. You got to add those credit cards. It's an option. It's not required.
Oh,
But
it
you
should be
want it?
required.
Right.
Well, I agree with you there.
No, that's a good
But
point. Yeah.
it
It
doesn't.
should be required because
It's not, and it's not a guarantee. It's a deterrent. There's no guarantee that we can
No,
stop this
but
from happening. But it
you need
deters
the
them.
deterrent.
Right.
You're not
And
leaving
especially-
a wide open hole.
I don't know who doesn't have raccoons in their yard. I mean,
I
come
listen.
on.
I just have my guys put it around the kids' little playhouse in the backyard and underneath on my shed. I just put all the critter guards around that because we have bunnies getting underneath there.
Oh.
And
Between bunnies, raccoons, I mean, what else do we have crawling around the yard? I can't even tell you. Possums,
Possums, yep.
there,
That's what happens when
squirrels,
deer,
well,
deer everywhere.
please, I think now we got coyotes. Oh, we had a turkey in our backyard the other
We
day.
have
I'm
them too. The turkeys are crazy
oh my
right now.
gosh, the turkeys are everywhere. The funniest was though, we left. I have 2 golden retrievers, so the dogs go out, and we get a bunny walked up to us, every couple of months, and I run, and Anthony, that's your problem. But at the end of the day, Anthony sends me a picture of the turkey in the backyard. I'm like, please don't let the dogs out. I really don't like turkey dinner to begin with, and I really would prefer it not July. So,
Oh yeah, the turkeys are wild right now.
and they fly. I didn't know that they actually
and
can get
when
height.
they- yeah, and when they come, you see sometimes there's like gaggles of them. I don't even know if that's the right term. But
Oh yeah,
Gaggles.
there's
like
like
5 and 6 of them at a time.
Yeah, they're like
Little Clay.
they
Oh, yeah.
kind of travel on the back.
Yeah. Yeah. But so, yeah, I mean, ultimately, when it comes to future buyers, like one last thing I want to talk about is warranties. How do you guys handle warranties when it comes to, let's say, roof siding? Are you finding that people are not registering their warranties? How important is that to you when listing a home as a listing agent or supporting somebody that's buying it?
That's a great question. I mean, we sell a lot. We sell a lot of single family homes resales. We do our new construction. So for the builder side of it, it's developers that we work for. They have
That's usually standard.
Yeah, they understand it. But it is on the resale side. It is a great question. It's not something we typically really get into, but it's probably something that for us wrapping out buyers in the future, it's probably something at least to open a door to know what, because especially if somebody just did a roof, right? You know, who did, you know, it's great that the roofers got done, but as you talked about earlier, who did the roof? Does it come with a warranty?
You know,
Yeah,
it's funny.
what's the-
you got the sleeve. You see the sleeve? I got something coming up. I got something up right now
what's
for
the
you.
what you know, who installed it, and how do we get that to our clients that
And
we're
does it
repping?
transfer to the new owner?
And as a transfer to owner.
We're working on something very cool.
So
for
so
the real estate
so those
division.
those are things that we would love to see, because ultimately it just brings value to us, and it brings value to our clients,
And
That's
it makes
even the
people feel
refrigerator.
safe.
and it makes people
Where
feel a
do
lot
they
more
buy the
comfortable.
refrigerator? Is there a warranty on it?
Well,
Is
you
there
want
an
to laugh.
extended
It's always
warranty?
left. All those books are left, right? They're in the kitchen drawer.
Right.
You get,
That's
you know,
it.
it's funny. When you guys sold me my house, I had a pile of them,
Pile of everything.
but they did nothing for me. All they were
No.
was user manuals. I can look that up online.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Usually the warranty
get
card
them?
is in there.
Manufacturers.
And
That's
usually
that
the
they never
warranty was
sent
never
it in.
registered.
It's exactly it. It's in
So
there.
you
It's
got
never
that-
registered.
Most of the time,
And unfortunately, that's the hope that people have. What is the average time that a homeowner stays in their house on Long Island? What, 13 years? I think it dropped to like 9.
you know, it's a number I should
Well,
know, but
because of the last few years, it's probably 9.
yeah.
Yeah,
So you're talking, I mean,
it's definitely dropped down.
people
because they've
people
been-
are hoping that
Especially-
second generation
right.
homeowner, a lot of warranties don't transfer.
no.
Especially now, probably with the values gone up over the past even like 5 years.
Yeah.
They'll probably, because we've had people, you know, work with us two, 3 times over. You know, at this point, it's 20 years of doing this.
We have
But-
someone right now. We're on the
Fourth
third or fourth time.
working, and it's great. I mean,
The
there's nothing
sad
better-
part is when
there's
they leave the state.
that's
happened a few times too. Now I'm like,
That's-
oh, they're gone now.
they're leaving, and they've been, you know, a lot of our
And we've had them for
clients
so long.
become real close friends with them,
Yeah.
and you know, meet their kids and their family. But
I know.
yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, going back to the roof and the warranties, it's something that if Marcor could pull up their sleeve and help us,
I got you. That's my ideas going.
we as brokers, us specifically, would embrace that. I hope the rest of the real estate community would embrace it. And you know, that's one thing for us to touch on is you know, the changing of the business, right? Your business, our business, and the involvement that you take in the process of learning more, educating, and bringing that here and bringing it out to people is, you know, is always something we always talked about. And I think that what sets you different from the rest. And we always try to be an educated. After 23 years doing business, you know, we've done multifamily, we've done condo co-ops, we've sold trailers, we've car washes, commercial, industrial space.
Retail space.
But 23 years of doing this, I'm learning every day. And that's one thing. And that's one thing
And
I
it keeps
applaud
changing.
for
It
you
keeps
guys too
evolving.
is to always educate, always educate, always educate, always educate.
We're always taking it in, putting it
Yeah.
out, taking this, putting it out.
You say how do you make things better? And
Yeah, you got to keep listening.
that's one thing I think set us apart.
I'll leave you with
Making-
this. Roofers don't register warranties. So all these homeowners that think I have a lifetime warranty, they got zilch. Because if they didn't register it, they don't have it.
So
That's an
so
unbelievable
so
point,
touch on
because
that so quickly is that
I would tell you people don't know that.
so when a roofer goes to install it, the roofer needs to register the roof.
No, the homeowner probably
or
does.
the whole,
So let me ask you this question. Have you ever had your roof done on your house? Either of you?
I have.
So
we have.
we
my
did
family
the
has.
beach house.
Family did. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about when I did your dad's house. Okay. Do you know where I bought the materials?
I just
No.
I made a
just know where
phone
you
call
bought-
and
you
I
made a phone call, right?
and I trusted
You
you.
know, we need a
And I know I trust you.
You may have known the color. Do you know how many squares the roof was? Did you know how I installed it? Did you know what accessories I used? Did you know how I ventilated it?
No.
No.
How do you register your warranty? Because those are all questions you need to know.
Oh.
That's why we register it. So those are transferable registered. If they're registered, they are transferable. Second time homeowner, you're going to have a very hard time finding it. Sometimes you can find it because there's a skew on the actual shingle and we know what dialot it came from. Or you could send in shingles to the manufacturer and sometimes see
Really?
down to the minute of when that shingle was manufactured. They'll know if there was an issue with the line at the time or if, something was going on.
That's
That's
awesome.
incredible.
But you have a lot more hoops to jump through. And a lot of the times you need the original bill of sale or you need the original contract. So if you have somebody who understands and has relationships with manufacturers, a lot of times we can get those warranties through if there's an issue. But at the end of the day, like people don't realize siding, we power wash siding with with a lot of power washers, I laugh with my power washer all the time because I give him the spec and I say, here's how you wash this. He goes, that's not what I use. I use this and I use bleach. Don't use that B word with me on my house. You're going to use this product on my house because you can avoid my warranty. And especially on the darker colors. Manufacturer knows that. They know how to get out of these warranties. And to their defense, they shouldn't have to pay for them anyway. You use bleach on your house and you didn't dilute it exactly the way that they told you to, or that it's on their website. Again,
You'll see them fading. I see.
That's
Funny you say that because I've seen so many dark colors that as you drive through certain
That's
towns
really good information.
that the siding is all fading. And I think, what's wrong with that siding?
usually it's because of either how it was cleaned or there is a fading issue, and fading issues are typically covered within reason.
Oh.
So you could typically see it because the different, like especially on cedar impressions, like that cedar,
Yes.
the vinyl cedar look.
Yep.
That you look to the J channel or to the corner post, that's really the true color, or you flip the panel over and that's what the true color originally was.
Wow.
But fading isn't always, in most cases it's fading. Fading will be covered on a warranty, but there's a limit to what they'll allow.
Right.
So there's like an actual gauge for each color. We've run, we're direct with a lot of the manufacturers and installing, and we're certified with them. So because we're a direct installer and we don't sub the work out, a lot of the times they'll come to us and say, hey, we have a warranty issue. The contractor's no longer in business. Can you look at this one? And that it usually comes down to the warranty was never registered. You got to jump through way more hoops, and it's way more of a stress for the homeowner. So we're registering those warranties.
I don't even think people ask that
Definitely
question.
Definitely.
They just know this is where I got my roof.
Or the other beautiful part is that they do register the warranty, but the warranty was the roof was still installed wrong. So when there is an issue, there's an avenue for them to back out.
Okay.
For us, with our manufacturers, we have quality control. They'll tell me 2 days before, hey, we're going to come and we're going to inspect these 4 random addresses.
Yeah.
I don't have time to go out there and look and make sure, did they do everything the right way? And, did they ventilate it? Did they do this? Did they use all the right products? Nope. That inspector's coming out. All he says is that you got to bring a ladder with you and meet us up on these 4 inspections. And you pass or fail, and that's how you keep your warranty, how you keep your certification.
Really?
And they know that all by the warranty when it's registered. So they say, okay, we're going to pull these couple. You have no idea where they're going to be.
Wow.
That's
It's accountability.
right.
Not every manufacturer does that. And that's why you want to deal with certain manufacturers.
But it would be awesome that the rest of the population of installers run like you guys run. That's what makes you guys different.
Well, that's like me. That's like me telling you that all of the realtors should be running.
Right.
But unfortunately, there's not a lot of fan players in the industry.
I appreciate it, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and some people do, and some people have realized that, but unfortunately, you realize it when it's too late a lot of the time. So
you learn after.
Yeah. Well, I think
After the burn.
So much. For
it was
being
very
here
cool.
today.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We learned a lot today, and I'll definitely
Always information.
Always information. Thank you.
And I'm in.
All right, appreciate
Musso
it.
gets 10% anytime they want any jobs moving forward.
I appreciate it.
We'll take care
like
of
that.
it.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
And I'll
Thank
buy
you.
her packet, seller packet.
Right.
If they want to prep
I'm
their
in.
home.
I'll have marketing create.
Thank you.
I love it. Thank you.
Good
guys
stuff.
so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gina.
He threw you off with the wave. I forgot to warn you. He waves me at the 20-minute mark.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was like,
That's usually when he
and you know
tells
what
me
I
it's